What's going on, guys? So I want to share something that I don't really talk to a lot of people about. It's not really that I'm ashamed of it. It's just something I just don't bring up. It's kind of a weird thing to bring up sometimes in regular conversations, but I want to be transparent with y'all. Y'all know that that's my main goal. I want you to know every aspect of me eventually. But yeah, although most people will go through bullying at some point in their life, at least some form of it, I was bullied quite often until, about the age of 12 or 13 in junior high, probably from the age of 5. A lot of this happened in school. It's crazy. This happens all the time. It's something that worries me about my kids whenever they get older, if they're going to experience things like this, because I don't want them to go through some of the things that I went through. I was a lot smaller than a lot of the other guys in my grade at all times until I got into high school and grew into myself. I was lighter, shorter. One of the things that was taken advantage of me was I was a very nice person. I was very forgiving. I always thought of myself as having a big, big heart, and I didn't understand cruelty. I didn't understand people that were just so mean to the bone. This is something that confused me as a child, and I almost feel sorry for myself, like thinking back, because there are times I wish now as an adult I could go back and hug, the 6 or 7-year-old version of me and tell him that it's okay and that things are going to work out and you're going to stand up for yourself one day and this isn't going to last forever, because it was kind of heartbreaking for me at the time. I didn't understand how people could be so mean to somebody that was just trying to be nice to them. But unfortunately, that's the way the world works. I remember the first time that I really experienced this on the physical side was there was this guy that he was a little bigger than me. I was cool with him, so I thought, for a couple days, and we were friends. But I guess somebody had dared him to be mean to me, and we were in the restroom. And I just remember out of nowhere him picking me up and slamming me on my head on the ground. I had this huge bruise and huge knot on my head. And then he kind of laughed about it, and I was asking him what the heck, and he was like, "Man, it's no big deal," or something like that. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was incredible. I remember thinking, like, why would you do that? We're friends, and I didn't understand it at all. I was just taken advantage of. And you know what? I didn't tell the teacher. I didn't tell anybody. When I got home, my dad, I guess, noticed it. And when he found out, he was mad at me and told me, "You better, stand up for yourself and you don't let anybody pick on you." But I didn't have a mean bone in me at that time. I wasn't even the type to try to defend myself. I wasn't that kind of guy yet. I was very vulnerable. And innocent. So that was one instant. I remember in 6th grade, there was this huge guy. He was the biggest guy in our grade at the time. He was wearing a necklace and it had a little grenade on it. And I remember we were in PE, and I remember I said, "Hey, that's cool. It's a fake little grenade." And he misheard me for thinking that I was calling his necklace fake, as it not being real gold or silver or whichever it was. And I remember he grabbed me by the neck and threw me up against the wall, lifted me off my feet, and held me there. And he said, "It ain't fake." And I remember coughing. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was talking about the grenade, and like that. And once again, it was one of those situations where I didn't stand up for myself. Of course, this is me being one of the smallest in my grade against Goliath to me, and I didn't say nothing to anybody. I was kind of ashamed and embarrassed about it. But I let that go. And then the latest bout of bullying that I experienced was whenever I was in junior high. I was in athletics, but at the time, for some reason, I could not catch a ball, which is very weird, because once I got the 9th grade and 10th grade, I was very good at football. I could literally catch anything. That's one of the best things that I was good at whenever I was in high school. I was very athletic. But in junior high, I just was not there yet. I had not grown into my body. I was very uncoordinated. Well, we were playing American football, which is non-tackling, and to advance it, you have to continue to throw it down the field until you get a touchdown. Well, that day, every time the ball got thrown to me, I dropped it. And a couple of the guys that were on my team that were bigger than me were mad at me for it. And they knew I was smaller, and they knew that I was nice and vulnerable, I guess. And we're in the locker room, and they just pushed me back and forth. And for whatever reason, I get mad now when I think about it, because I allowed them to do that, and like the new me would just, oh my gosh, it wouldn't be an issue. But it's just hard to get into my own head and try to realize what I was thinking. But I was just so nice, and I was a scared individual. I didn't like violence. I didn't want to fight anybody, and I just took it. And it breaks my heart that I allowed myself to go through that. Try not to get emotional right now, but I feel so bad for how I thought. I was very innocent. I loved everybody. I loved life. I loved the world. I didn't understand meanness and anger and violence. I didn't understand any of that. I just wanted to be friends with people. And I wish I could go back and tell myself that things were going to work out. And luckily, I had a growth spurt. For some reason, I guess my confidence sparked up. I was able to stand up for myself. I was actually pretty popular whenever I got into high school. I was more athletic. I really focused on my talents. I didn't have any issues with bullying from then on. It stopped, luckily for me, but I know there's many others out there that are still going through bullying into their, teenager years, into their high school years, and even into their young adulthood. You can experience bullying as a 60-year-old. It's a sad issue that still goes on, and I hope that if you're watching this video that you don't do it. But the truth is that many of us have been on both ends. We've been bullied, and we also have bullied. Maybe it wasn't super intentional, but you just making somebody the butt of a joke all day can be bullying. I just want you to know that. You going crazy on somebody on the internet, cyberbullying. This can lead people to numerous things. We've all heard the stories about people committing suicide because of bullying, but it affects people. And guys, what it did to me, if there was anything that it did to me, it made me very hardened. And I know a lot of people love, that's good, it made you tough. But no, it made me overly protective of myself and my heart and my actions, everything. Guys, I had a lot of anger issues whenever I got into high school and my early adulthood. I was very angry. I had a short fuse, something that I didn't have before bullying. But guys, this just grew inside me and got worse and worse, and until I had my anxiety and all that stuff. Eventually I worked on myself as a person, and the anger started to go away, but it just made me super angry. And you see people all the time that actually get so angry that they go out and commit crimes, especially in the schools, and they talk about how they were bullied and rejected and neglected. Bullying is just very traumatizing. It's very scarring. It's very damaging. And if you're doing this to anybody, please stop. And if you see anybody being bullied, please stand up. Please stand up for that person. I know now that if I ever see anything like that happening, I will be there for that person. I don't care how big the dude is. Because I know now, like for me, there is nobody in this world that will bully me without me coming at them. I'm not trying to promote violence or anything like that, but I refuse to be bullied now from going through what I did whenever I was a young child. There are some good things that came out of it. I've learned how to toughen up. But like I said, there was a period of time where there was just a lot of anger and resentment and hate in my heart, in my mind, because of the things that I experienced whenever I was young. These things can hurt you for the rest of your life. So if you're doing this, please stop. If you see somebody being bullied, please stand up for them. I love you guys, and I know this is a different video, but if you got some value out of this, let me know. If you've ever been bullied in your life, please like this video and leave me a comment down below and let me know your experience with bullying, guys. I hope you have a good one. Thanks.